Here I go. With the help of my old school bench grinder, I got that piece, this piece right here, cleaned off. Let's set that on there the best, evenest way I can. Get that welded on that leg. Then I got this piece right here cleaned off, and I'll be welded on that leg. This is gonna be the hardest one, so I'm gonna do this one first. At this point, yes, it does not look the same. I wish I had a piece like that. That was the same height, but that's not the case. All my other pieces like that are too thick. This one's not thick enough. And this one is too thick. I should try to chop this down to make it even like that, to make it look like it's all one piece, but I just don't want to do it. It's all good. I'm gonna make this work like this. Once you cut these pieces like this piece is super thick too. It's hard to cut it again, this small of a piece, and get it even cut. So, here we go. I got that first piece on there. I put real close, hot as hell. I put a weld right here on that outer little edge. I put another weld right here. And because this is upside down, I end up putting the weld on the inside right there. And then add another weld on the inside right there. So 2 on the inside, 2 on the outside. That should hold it pretty good. That's as good as I'm gonna do it for now. But I mean, it looks crazy as hell because it's not gonna be the same piece as this side, but it's all good. A little kickstand like a motorcycle. So anyway, this piece is gonna be a little different because it's so thin. I gotta figure out how to adjust it on there. I can't really use the vice grips like I used for that one. So I'm gonna try to get it on there, and I don't know how I'm gonna hold it. Hopefully it won't move when the weld hits it, so we'll see what happens. So let me put this little sliver on here, and then I'll show you that once I get that piece on here. Got this one on, only got 3 welds. I decided I don't really need to weld this edge right here. It's not that serious. So I got it weld right there, weld on the inside, which I could not see. I was pretty much doing that blind, and then the weld on the other side, just like this one. So this is the moment of truth right here. Now it's time to flip it over and see what that wobble's like. There it is. I'm happy with it, man. I mean, it's barely, I don't know if you can pick it up. You see it moving just a little bit? It's the bare minimum of the amount of wobble now. I ain't gonna say it's perfect because there is kind of a slight little wobble, but I mean, you can barely, it's fractions of a millimeter worth of wobble compared to where it was before, like 2 or 3 inches of wobble. As of now, that's acceptable perfectly to me because once again, this is going on the ground, and the ground is not gonna be nowhere near as even as this concrete is. So this is pretty good right here. I'm glad I had them pieces, man. That's why I say, man, never throw away anything metal when you're working on a project. You never know when scrap pieces are going to come in handy. That was a quick fix to a major problem. Now the next order of business is going to be that I'm not going to do these welds right here, right now. I could, but I'm not going to at this point in time because I don't know. I got to figure out some kind of a system as far as a bottom piece for this. So there's no point in welding that if a bottom piece is going to sit flat on there and cover it up anyway. I would like to figure out something about this, that little gap right there. I don't really like the way that looks, but I can add that later. So I'm not going to mess with that right now. Time to move on. Well, the next step of this is to cut this circle out of this flat piece of steel right here. Now this is super thick. And I've already done one piece with a cutoff wheel and a grinder. I got one corner off. I mean, it was not easy, but it wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. Basically, what I did is I just cut that groove right along the edge in there. Once I got the first groove in there, I just kept going back and forth with it a few times, and well, several times. And then once I did, I ended up just grabbing it and then bending it back and forth, and it just popping right off. Now I can come back and grind this closer towards the line, get it shaped more of in a round shape, and eventually this will be a perfect circle, the inner circle of this ring. Now I do have a torch right here, but unfortunately I'm all out of gas. But curiosity, had me to where I didn't want to wait till Monday to do this. So I figured, let me see if I can do it with this grinder and the cutoff wheel. And surprisingly or not, man, I'm gonna make it happen with this. This right here is just a cheap DeWalt, and now that I'm looking at it, it says grinding wheel. So this is actually the wrong thing. So, even with a cheap grinding wheel, it's working pretty good. Now I'm gonna go switch to a real cutoff wheel and see if it works a little bit better. I just realized it's the wrong wheel on here. But I got the first corner done even with the wrong wheel, so we'll see what happens. Let me switch to the cutoff wheel and I'll bring this back. Now there are better cutoff wheels. I've discovered these are super old, and now they got newer. I think Diablo makes a cutoff wheel. I do use Diablo blades on my Sawzall, so I was pretty impressed with them. If this doesn't work out with these cheap cutoff wheels, I'm gonna go get a Diablo blade and see how that goes. But for now, I'm gonna try and make it happen. The goal of this project is trying to make this project happen without spending the least amount of money. Spending the least amount of money is the goal. And use up some of the old stuff I got before I go run out and buy new stuff. Okay, people, this is where I'm at with it right now. I got the plate all cut out, and I basically welded the ring to the plate. Now I got this overhang and the slag, which I will grind off later, but now I'm just trying to figure out in what order should I put this, get this, the sides, the bottom, and the legs. I was going to do it like this and try to weld, right here, but I thought that might come into play with them tabs, so I got underneath it and looked, it'd be better to weld it from the bottom. So what I'm going to do now is I got it clamped, I got it measured out, I got it kind of even on there. So what I want to try to do is flip it over onto this milk crate and try to weld the legs on the backside of this thick plate, because this is just as thick as that. This ring is a little bit thinner, so I can't do too much on this ring. So I'm using, basically this ring is just almost like a filler with the gap, because my piece wasn't big enough to do the full circle. Now theoretically, I'm sure I should just grind this down like here and get it perfectly along the ring, but I'm gonna do that later because I want to grind it all down once I got everything hooked together. So thanks for watching Hunter Spoke Riders. Subscribe today to not miss a video. You want to hit that little bell like so. Easy. Don't forget about the notifications. All you gotta do is go up there and click it just like that. Slide on down there, hit that save button, and then you won't miss a video. It's that easy.